Hi everyone, Casey Mullaney here from CaseyMullaney.com, and today I want to talk about 3 important words to remove from your vocabulary, or at least from your phrases of use, to positively affect your financial life. So one of the biggest things that I hear so many people say all the time, and they don't even grasp that they're saying it, are the words, I can't afford, and then blank whatever it is, like either that or that experience or to go to Hawaii or whatever. The phrase, I can't afford, is one of the worst things you can say out of your mouth. Part of this is because, one, when we say that, we kind of cut off that option from us ever having it, especially if this is something that you really want. Like if it's a vacation that you would love to go on and you're like, I would love to do this, but I can't afford that. Well, that's setting it up for it to not happen. And you're kind of negatively attracting, lack into your life. You're bringing in the opportunity for you to not be able to afford things, for your bank account to stay lower, for you not to positively increase your bank account. So I have lots of personal experience with this. Those used to be very common words in my vocabulary. I used to say that often, probably more than I had any clue. There were 2 big instances for me that were kind of like, oh my God, like, is that really the perception I leave? One was in college. I was purchasing, I will never forget it. I was in Sephora and I was buying this, it was just like a little bit of roll-on perfume. And one of my friends was shocked that I was buying it. And she's like, you always say you can't afford things. And it just I didn't even realize how much I was saying it until that moment. And then there was another time frame about a year or 2 later. I think it was a year and a half later. Where I had a roommate mention the same thing to me about, somebody that's so conscious over what they can't afford, something like that. And it was just this big eye opener of, oh my gosh, I can't believe that comes out of my mouth so often, because that doesn't promote more abundance in our life. What that does is, like I said, it promotes lack in our life. So, and part of this comes from our upbringing, and also that it's a common thing for people to say. Many times it's almost like a conversation thing. It's actually considered to almost be more acceptable to say you can't afford things than that you can. We as a society are very uncomfortable talking about money, which does not help us promote positive abundance in our life either. But today I'm focusing on this phrase. So this is what I want you to do. If this is something that you've said in your life, and I don't know many people who haven't said it, if this is something you say in your life, I want you to go through this week tracking what you think about money. Like if there's a purchase or there's something that you see, what is your initial reaction to it? Is it an I can't afford this, or is it I would love to have this, I'm going to bring this into my life in some means? So first I want you to go through tracking and seeing how many negative I can't afford this related thoughts come up. The next thing that I want you to do is, once you've done that, is I want you to then see how you can flip this. See how you can change this in your thought pattern. Like say there was a vacation that you would love to go on, just absolutely dying to go on. But in your mind, you're thinking, I can't afford it. How can you flip that? How can you change that to where you say something different? Say, I would love to do this within the next 2 years, or say, I would love to have that experience in my life, where you're really thinking of it in more of a positive way that might bring it in. I know that I've mentioned in the past on previous videos about things that I've manifested in my life, and I would not have created, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but from where I live, and for actually a lot of people, but in particular from where I live, going to Hawaii is not a cheap venture. But I was open to it. I was open to that coming in my life. This is after I'd done a ton of work, with my mindset, with my thoughts, with my words, what I was capable of having in my life. But that right that second, if you looked at my bank account and if you looked at my, outgoing and other things we had going on, a trip to Hawaii in that time frame would not have made any sense. But I positively held space for it. I never denied it. I allowed myself to want it. it, to desire it, to know that I was bringing it in at some point, and just hold space for it to happen. And it's one of the quickest things I've ever manifested. And not to mention, I got to do it in a means that was so affordable. It's like almost laughable how affordable it was. So, and I stayed at a nice place. Like I flew Delta Comfort seats, which are the in between the regular seats and the, first class seats. And then we stayed at like the Hilton Hawaiian Village. This wasn't like I went on some budget trip, but I had this incredible opportunity come forward for me to allow that trip in my life in a time frame where I could have easily said, I can't afford to go to Hawaii. That could have easily come out of my mouth, like when I was having the desire and the want to go. So the big thing is if you desire something, if there's something that you want, make sure that you're not cutting that off from your life. Don't use the words, I can't afford it, because that is not positively impacting that opportunity from happening. Sometimes this takes some other work around what you deserve, other thoughts and words and actions that you're not aware of. If this is something that you want to dive into deeper, or something that you're excited to really bring forth in your life, you're really ready to manifest some amazing things, work on thoughts, words, and actions that are not serving you, definitely go check out CaseyMullaney.com. You can book a call with me there. I'd be really excited to help. It's one of my favorite things. And I hope like moving forward, you start watching maybe some of these phrases that are not helping you bring in the things that you really want into your life. When you have like a desire for something, when there's something you really, really want, it's not because it's wrong for you to have it. It's actually like completely right for you to have it. Most of us are not wanting things out of a malicious nature. We're wanting them to enhance our life in some positive way. And by cutting that off, by using words of acting like words and thoughts that we can't have something, that's not enhancing our life. That's not bringing us into a more joyful state. And that's certainly not bringing in more abundance and more amazing opportunities into our life. So I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.